Hey guys, let's go over C5. Determine the zeros or roots of each function or equation. Remember, we're trying to get those blue dots. Those are where it crosses the x-axis. Okay. Remember, if you ever get confused on the f of x thing, you can just change it to y. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to factor out a -1. And the reason why I'm doing this factoring out a -1, this is my GCF. And why I'm doing that again is I want to see if I can factor this in yellow. So -1 times 8x squared is -8x squared, which is right above, right? -1 times -2x gives me positive 2x. And -1 times -1 gives me a positive 1. So let's see if they're in yellow. We can factor this. Because factoring is the easiest method, but it does not always work, okay? Inside there in yellow, I have a equals 8, b is -2, and c is -1. So I have a times c, and there's my b. So a times c is -8. My b value is -2. Let's see if we can think of those numbers, right? 8 times 1, 4 times 2. Does any of those work? Yeah, I think this one works. Okay, 4 and 2. Remember, these have to multiply, or the product. And then these have to add, or their sum is -2. So I'm going to do a -4. Now, remember, when your a value is greater than 1, you have to do both this x method and you have to do the box. Okay, so let's do the box. How does the box work? You take the a value and put it up here. The c value always goes in the bottom right. And then we're taking these two numbers from our x puzzle. Is really this term here. So it's -4x and positive 2x. Because if you add those two numbers together, you will get -2x. Okay? I need to think of numbers, a greatest common factor going out this way. This would be a 2x. Greatest common factor for those would be 4x. And you can multiply. 2x times 4x gives you 8x squared. Now, this is a little bit confusing going in this direction, right? You're like, what do they have in common? I would say they have a positive 1. Remember, you can multiply. 1 times 2x gives you 2x. This direction looks like they have a -1 in common. Because remember, -1 times 4x gives you -4x, and -1 times 1 gives you -1. Okay? Okay, what do I do with those values? Okay, so just to recall what we did is here in purple, those are what we factored in yellow. So let's write that. 2x minus 1 and 4x plus 1. And I'm not going to forget that -1 there. Okay, so again, let's not lose sight of what we're doing here. We're trying to solve for these blue dots. Okay, where does it cross those blue dots? Now, I'm going to apply the zero product rule. Zero product rule. What is the zero product rule in 20 seconds? Triangle times the square equals 0. And it's a game, right? So one of these, either the triangle has to be 0 or the square has to be 0. Okay, so that's my mini lesson on the zero product rule. ZP, I call it the ZPR. Okay, so here we're going to apply the zero product rule by setting each of these equal to 0. Let's do that. -1 equals 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. 4x plus 1 equals 0. Remember, solving is going backwards in PEMDAS. Okay, so question, can -1 equal 0? This would be a no solution. Remember, PEMDAS this is my little trick. When you're solving, you go this way. And when you're simplifying, you go that way. So we're going to do addition and subtraction first, okay? So there I am, right? So add 1, add 1. 2x equals 1. And then divide by 2. You will get x equals 1/2, okay? I'm going to highlight this in blue because this is an answer. This is technically an answer. And let's finish this one up here. Subtract 1, 4x equals -1. And then divided by 4 here, you get x equals -1/4. Okay, let me put all those puzzle pieces together just so you can see what a graph might look like. No. There's my x, y coordinate. Okay, x equals 1/2 is right here. X equals -1/4 is right here. I'm just trying to help you understand all the things that are happening. Okay, your C value is, in the original problem, is a +1. So that is y equals 1. And then your graph is a negative, right? Which means that it faces what? Down. So these are all the puzzle pieces. Okay? Hopefully that gives you an idea of how to do that problem.